real hot. But anybody who knows me knows that I love the heat. But I don't want it just like beaming on me. Like, I can deal with the heat. Just don't want it beaming right on me. And you know, right now, this time of day, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon here on this beautiful Wednesday. But it is definitely hot. Or whatever. I mean, now I'm starting to cool off because I'm in the car. So I do have my ear on. Which is cool. Or whatever. Anyways, I didn't really want to come on here and talk about too much. But what I did want to come on here and talk about was it's just like a question, like, and the question is somebody told me that I wasn't the type of person that was very sensitive to too many people's feelings. And I know that can be true because I have been told this plenty of times. This is nothing new. When I tell you I have been told this plenty of times, I have been told this. But also, I asked myself, should we always be sensitive to people's feelings? And I only say that because I don't think people are sensitive to my feelings. A lot of times I don't even think, people always try to tell me like, oh, you know, you just say what you want to say and how you want to say it. True, you know, but I am trying to get a little bit better at that. And I understand everybody has their feelings. But I also believe that with feelings a lot of time, I think people try to cry wolf sometime when there's no need to cry wolf. And then the minute you tell them about it, they say, oh, well, you're not sensitive to the situation. Not every situation needs a sensitivity to it. Especially when whatever the situation is, you're the one who caused it upon yourself. I think a lot of times people think that we all should feel the same way that they feel when they're going through something, when a lot of times that person caused it on themselves, and after so many times I can't be sensitive or care about your feelings. I just need to be that friend and tell you straight up how it really is. I think a lot of people don't like to be checked on how the situation really is. And don't get me wrong, I mean, my friends check me all the time, which I really, you know, a lot of people I know, they will check me. And don't get me wrong, I will argue with them tooth and nail, but don't think I'm not going to think about it later on. I'm going to think about it. And a lot of times I do find myself to where I'm like, where maybe I should have approached the situation different, or maybe I could not been so harsh on what I said. But then sometimes I feel like I wasn't hard enough, even though people tell me I was so harsh on what I said. But sometimes I feel like I should have said more. I don't think all the time we need to be worried about people's feelings. Because a lot of times, them people is not sensitive on your feelings. A lot of times, they don't even care. They don't care what they say to you or how they say it. And then when you tell them about themselves, they don't care. They'll just tell you in a minute, well, that's how it is and that's how I feel. Okay, well, same back at you. That's the way I feel. Same back at you. I don't care about your feelings either. I mean, maybe I'm wrong for it, but sometimes that's life. You know, I think it's so many people out here sugarcoating when people have different situations and somebody needs to really tell them like how it really is or what they did was wrong. So many people would sugarcoat it instead of just being real. And then me being real, I'm now labeled the bad person. No, I'm not a big fan of sugarcoating anything. I'm not finna sugarcoat. And maybe I am kind of harsh sometimes with the way I say things or how I express my frustration with people. Maybe I am. I don't mean nothing by it. But I am going to tell you about yourself, especially if you ask me. That's the one that gets me, is when somebody asks you about something and you tell them and they upset by your response. I never understood those people. Why ask me? Why ask me? If you already know how I am, why ask me? You already know you're not going to be happy with what I tell you. So then why ask me? So that right there really frustrates me about people. But you have so many people out here that do that. So many. And then they want to tell you about yourself. No, we're not talking about me. We're talking about you. We are talking about you. Yes, you. But people is so like flaky and so flaky and so sensitive, but trying to be hard at the same time. Sensitive and hard don't mix. It just don't mix. You're either gonna be hard or you're gonna be sensitive. Don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for all of it. But don't ask questions, get a response, and then you upset about it. That's one thing you cannot do. Alright, I'm back. So anyways, like I was saying, sensitivity and so I understand that there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time for people to be worried about their feelings, and it's a time to be sensitive. That's true. There's a time and place for it all. And don't get me wrong, we all go through it. But also, I know in a lot of different situations, you have some people who are just overly sensitive. Like, you could say the littlest thing to them, and before you know it, they crying. Or they trying to tell you that you're being mean, or it could be anything. It just cracks me up about those type of people. Just like one lady I was dealing with, and we had to do a meeting together. You know, so I tell her like, okay, X, Y, and Z. When we get out the meeting, she tells me that I was rude, I was mean. I wasn't mean, and I know I wasn't mean. She thought I was mean to her because I told her not to say as much as she was saying. Do not criminalize yourself. And I think a lot of people don't realize, like, you have to know when to shut up. And a lot of people do not want you to tell them to be quiet. Don't say as much as you're saying. And before you know it, you're the bad person. But you wasn't the bad person when you got them out the situation that they was in. You wasn't the bad person then. You wasn't the mean person then, but because you tell them about their self, now you're not being sensitive to their feelings. People crack me up sometimes. People really crack me up. I mean, I'm not lying. Sometimes I just have to laugh. I don't know. I guess that's just how the world works, huh? Maybe that's just how the world works. I don't know. I know one thing, I think it's hilarious. I know another thing, I can't always be worried about everybody's feelings. And I know another thing, stop being so sensitive. Stop being so sensitive. And I know you're going to watch this video and you know who you are. Stop being so sensitive. Get out your darn feelings. Get out your feelings, because your feelings is going to hold you back. There's going to be a lot of people telling you no in this lifetime. Matter of fact, you might get more no's than what you get yes. Stop being so sensitive. It's not going to get you anywhere. Anyways, I'm just rambling because that was on my mind because of the situation I was just in. Anyways, like I always say, like and subscribe my channel. And like I always say, peace.